Hi there! Thank you so much for joining me tonight. This is Julie DiMatteo from thepaperpixie.com, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And tonight's Facebook Live video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this adorable, let's see if I can hold it the right way, this adorable little Valentine's box that perfectly holds either a Lindor truffle or a Ferrero Rocher. Isn't that awesome? I'm calling it a winged lid box. I love it. My inspiration for this is fellow German demonstrator Brigitte Keiling. She came up with this idea, and I just converted the measurements to inches, and I absolutely love it. It measures 1 3/8 inch cube, so perfect to fit either a Lindor truffle or a Ferrero Rocher. Okay, so I'm calling this a winged lid Valentine's box, and as I mentioned earlier, it is 1 3/8 inch cubed. All right, so all of the sides measure 1 3/8 inch, and I don't know if you can see that, some little magnets hidden here, so it's got a magnetic closure. I love it. All right, so I'm going to show you how to put this ingenious box together. We're going to start with Melon Mambo cardstock, and this measures 4 1/8 inches square. So 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Trimmer. So we are going to score this at 1 3/8 and 2 3/4. I'm going to rotate it and do the same thing, 1 3/8 and 2 3/4. So here we've done kind of a grid of equal squares there. Okay, so let's go ahead and form this box first. I'm going to bring in a template here to kind of show you what we're doing. So I'm going to first fold and burnish on all the score lines. And then we're going to do some cutting. I'm going to grab my paper snips here. And I'm going to cut up, let's turn it this way, these score lines here, stopping at that horizontal score line. I'm going to do that on both the top and the bottom. And if it's easier, whichever side of the paper to make those cuts. All right, so we've made those cuts there. Then what I'm going to do is actually, these are going to be our tabs for the box, but I want to shorten them a little bit. So that's why you'll see here, I've got these cut lines to just kind of shorten those. You really just need enough as tabs to put the box together. So I don't know, I'm leaving it at about 3/8 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch. I'm just eyeballing it because no one's really going to see that. It's going to be on the inside of the box. So there we go. Okay, so that's what we've turn the template into. The last little piece I'm going to do is just notch in these little tabs. And when I notch in, I'm just kind of wedging a little piece out. And that's just going to ensure that we don't have any paper hanging over when we put the box together. It just gives it a nicer finish. So see, it's real little, just a little bit of notching there. All right, so that's that piece. Now what we're going to do is I'm just going to use my multi-purpose liquid glue and just put this on these little tabs that we've created to form the base of our box. Try not to use too much glue so it doesn't ooze out too much. But what I'm doing is basically just taking this score line and meeting it up with this cut edge here to create a box. All right, so there is our little box. I love it. Super cute. Okay, so I'm going to wait to put the chocolate in. So I'm going to put this off to the side, and let's go ahead and create our wings. So I have got 2 pieces of Melon Mambo cardstock, and these measure 2 3/4 square. So 2 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches, 2 pieces. Bringing back my Stampin' Trimmer, and we're going to score this right down the middle at 1 3/8. On both sides, 1 3/8. Okay, so we got kind of a crisscross pattern there. Now I'm going to do that to both pieces while we're at it. So we've done the straight, the horizontal and vertical score lines of 1 3/8. What I'm going to do next, and let me put the template here so you can see it better. I am going to line up where this score line meets the edge and this score line, and I'm gonna cut straight across, okay? So just line that up in the cutting groove of your Stampin' Trimmer. Bring out the cutting blade and cut. All right, so we've basically cut away that outside triangle. We're gonna do that on only 3 of the 4 sides. So now what you can do, and this is what I loved what Brigitte did on her tutorial, she took this flat edge, butted it up here, and did the same thing, cutting from the score lines, which now look diagonal, and cut away that corner. And then I'm gonna rotate it again and do the same thing. I know this seems strange that we are all of a sudden cutting away all this paper, but it really is the best way to construct this. Now, it kind of looks like an envelope, okay? What we're gonna do from this point to this point is not cut, but score. So be real careful to move your cutting blade out of the way, because I've ruined many a project that way, and score. All right, so now this is what we've got left over. So try to ignore the pieces that we just cut away. All right, now I'm going to repeat the same thing to the other one. See that? So now what I'm going to do is we're going to treat these two just slightly differently. I need to make one cut line. We are going to cut up one of these score lines stopping in the center, but we're going to do the opposite on either side, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to cut from here to here on this one. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on this one, but on the opposite side, so from here to here. Okay, so the same piece, but we've got a cut side on the left and a cut side on the right. Okay, so now we are going to fold and burnish on those score lines. Now what I'm going to do is fold this one back on itself, because that's actually the way we need it to fold. Okay, so we've done this fold, and then this one back on itself. We'll do the same thing over here. All right, so we've got those pieces. Now what I'm going to do is on this little triangle that we made the cut, I'm going to put adhesive on here, and we are going to adhere it to create this little triangle kind of corner thing. Does that make sense? So glue here, and we're going to put that under to create this little triangular corner. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so let's go ahead and do that. And again, don't go too crazy with the glue. And this is really what's making our little winged lid. Amazing. I love this. I would have never come up with this on my own. All right, there's that one. We're going to do the same thing over here. So you're putting glue on the piece that does not have this extra flap. So we'll put glue here. And then this is going to go under to create that triangle corner. And you don't have to be exact, but it does help the box go together if you just try to pay attention to lining everything up as best you can. Hold that in place, make sure it sticks. All right, so now we've got this little corner piece with this little hinge. All right, so let me show you. Here is what's going to happen. So those pieces, and it really doesn't matter where, so you want the triangle pieces to sit on the top, and then these are going to adhere to the back. So here's the trick. You only want to put glue on the back side of this triangle. That's the only piece that's going to adhere to the box. And that's going to allow it to flip open like that. Isn't that awesome? Ooh, I love it. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put liquid glue on this little flap that we're folding backwards. And I'm going to try to get glue all the way up to the corners if I can. Okay. Then I'm just going to place this on where I want it on the box and press down. You really want to hold this into place for a little while because we want that to be as strong as possible. This liquid glue is great for that. Okay. Love it. All right, I'm going to let that sit for a second. Do the same thing. So we've got this little corner piece. And we've got this flap that flips back. And we're going to put adhesive on the back side of it, liquid glue. And then again, I'm just placing it on the box where I want it and then pressing the glue piece down in the corner. Super cute. All right, it's coming together. We're almost there. I'm just pressing into place just a little bit. All right. So that is the base of the box. Now let's go ahead and decorate it, and then I'm going to show you how to hide those magnets. Now, I have cut 2 pieces of the Painted with Love Specialty Designer Series paper. This is the back side of the paper that does not have the gold foil. You'll see there's some gold foil on this side. These 2 pieces measure 1 1/4 inches square. So 1 1/4 inch by 1 1/4 inch. I'm going to stack those on top of each other. And all I'm going to do with my paper snips is cut from corner to corner. So I did do a template for this, which probably is not necessary, but that's all we're doing, to cut them, and we're going to end up with 4 triangles. Now this works best if you use a designer series paper, does not have a directional pattern, because then it starts to get a little wonky with the triangles. So there we go. I literally just cut those squares diagonal to diagonal to split them. Now we've got 4 triangles. So we're going to adhere those to the top and the front sides. And those front sides are the ones where it's going to open. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere these triangles. Those are all adhered. Now, let's see, let's go ahead and do the stamping real quick, and we'll get our hearts cut out, and then we'll start to assemble the box. I've got a scrap of Whisper White here, and I thought for this one, we'll do the heart with Rich Razzleberry. It's another coordinating color with the Painted with Love Specialty Designer Series paper. All right, let's see. All right, this is the Sure Do Love You stamp set that comes bundled with the Lots to Love box framelits, I believe is what that's called. So in this, there's a coordinating heart die that's going to cut out this always sentiment. So we're going to go ahead and cut that out. And from the Sweet and Sassy framelits, I actually don't have the whole set to show you, but it's all of the different nesting hearts. This one will actually cut out a heart that pretty nicely coordinates in size and shape with this heart. So I'm going to cut out, let me bring in my Big Shot here. We're going to cut out the bigger heart from gold foil. Let's see if I can get both of these in the frame here. I am using the magnetic platform to hold the heart one in place. We'll cut out both of those in one fell swoop. All right, there's those 2. Let's see. Now we are going to do the trick with the magnets. So now, first thing I'm going to do is hide a magnet on the inside. So I've talked about this before. I order my magnets from Spider Magnets. They are a store on eBay. They're based in the UK, but their prices are reasonable. Shipping is cheap, and they ship really quickly. So I got, these are the 8mm by 1mm course I can't get them apart, magnets, and they're perfect for these little craft projects. You probably can't even see those from that far. Look how cute. All right, so I'm going to use a mini glue dot and a paper piercing tool. I'm just going to stick a glue dot. Here, let me put it in my hand so you can watch. I'm just going to stick a glue dot right on top of that. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is on the inside of the right wing, I'm going to put underneath the top side this magnet. And you don't have to really worry about where it is. I'm just trying to kind of put it in the center. So here's the box top. Lift up the right wing. So right underneath that right side, I've stuck that magnet. Okay. So now the trick is I'm going to close this and I'm going to drop the other magnet right on top. And it's going to go right where it needs to go with the positive, negative lined up the way it's supposed to go. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Stampin' Dimensional and I'm going to put that on the left side of the heart. I hope that makes sense. I'm taking a big one. I'm going to make sure I put it on the back side of this. Okay. So to you, it's the right side, but it's the back side, the back side of the left. And before I put that down, I'm going to grab one more glue dot. I'm going to stick that right on top of this magnet. Okay. And I'm going to get ready and have my box lid closed where I want it. And I'm going to lay my heart. I'm basically lining up the top and the bottom of the heart to center it over that opening and pressing into place. Now what will happen is when you open it, the magnet will stick to the heart where it's supposed to be. And now when you close it, it will hold together. Isn't that so fun? I could sit here and play with these magnets all day. Now for this one, I'm just going to stick some mini dimensionals on the back. You don't really need the minis. You could cut up a couple of the big ones, but I'm just going to take 3 minis. Love those mini dimensionals. Stick those on the back. And then we'll just layer that on top of the gold heart. Now I'm going to do a little teeny tiny bow using the Love Mini Tinsel Trim, I believe it's called. It comes in this beautiful pink color, which I'm sure is a specific color, but I'm not thinking of it, and gold. So you get both of these. It's, I think, 5 yards of each. So I'm just going to do a little bunny ears bow. 2 loops, 2 little bunny ears. I'm just going to tie those in a knot. And now what I do is I just tighten it. You can make it as small as you want. All right, so little teeny tiny bow. Again, I just zhuzhing it. Tiny works best here, and then I'll just cut off the ends. And look, he's so cute. All right, I'm gonna stick that onto a glue dot. And then we will stick that right on our project. I'm gonna use my paper piercing tool to kind of pick that up. Put that right where I want it. And we can't forget the most important part. We gotta put the chocolate in there. So this again will fit, and I just kind of hide the little ends a little bit and just tuck it nicely in there. Perfect size for a Lindor truffle or a Ferrero Rocher. Cute, look at that. I love how it opens and closes. So I don't know which one you like better, Melon Mambo or Rich Razzleberry. Super cute. So there we go. That's our winged lid Valentine's box. If you don't already follow me or subscribe to my YouTube channel, please go out and do that so you get notified of my new videos. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. I'd love for you to stop by my blog, thepaperpixie.com, where I post projects every weekday to inspire you. There's options to subscribe to my newsletter as well as my blog updates. You can get those in your email each weekday. So thank you all so much for joining me live. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day, and I will see you next Wednesday for my next weekly Wednesday Facebook Live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much. You all take care. Bye.